The instigators. Hello, it's Grant! Grant's here! New car. Let's go.
Another one?
Another one?
Did you sell the E30?
Before we start, you just fucked up my joke. Before we start, the first question is, did you sell the E30?
I didn't. It's still in my back pocket.
And why did you sell it?
Because it blew up.
Oh, that's right.
Wait, did it actually blow up?
Bad driver. Yeah,
Yeah,
you fucking drove it into a fucking pole on the way home. From
On the street, bro.
Yeah.
No, it overheated on the drive home from Status, and then I kept driving it, and it broke.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Cody, I'm gonna have a count for how many times you say that. Okay.
Okay. Start now.
You can reach a quota of 3 for the day.
Damn.
That's how they get you.
That is how they get. As a matter of fact.
Another great question that needs to be answered is: would you?
Wait, aren't we doing an intro in case nobody knows?
I thought that was the intro. Cody did.
Where's
the introduction?
Adam got a full introduction. I bet you didn't bring your own.
Come on, Darius. We're gonna show you right here, mate.
What did you even say, God?
I don't even remember Adlord's intro. He did it himself. He was really good.
Yeah, well, he could articulate words. I just say, yeah, bro.
Hello, Grant. Would
Hello.
you like to tell the people who you are?
I'm actually nobody. I'm just 2J Josh's friend.
Yeah, that's true. I heard that.
Yeah. Josh carried the team.
Yeah. Josh is the TikTok guy. You're the
I'm
Instagram
Grant.
guy.
I used to have S15, and I'm just old as shit.
He used to have an E30. Why did you sell that, by the way?
I sold an E30, and I sold an E36, and I sold a Chaser, and I sold an S15.
Nobody remembered the E36.
That shit sucked.
That thing was pretty boogers.
Shut up, Cody.
E36 was Grant's best car.
E36 had my best wheels.
Why was that his best car?
Yeah, honestly, why was that my best car, Cody? I need an honest...
Cody just
opinion.
wants anything that's fucking edgy and weird because he's a fucking weird cunt.
I don't know how to describe it except for it literally was so fucking good. It just looked good. Like
Aesthetically, I agree. It looked sick.
Aesthetically, it's the best car.
Aesthetically, it looked good.
Grant, it'd probably be good to kick it off, just telling us the Grant story, the come up,
Yeah.
How you got into cars, and yeah.
Well, I always liked cars. I used to go to the skate park a lot, and there was a few people I looked up to that got their license before me. Actually, Dylan Morrison is one of them, with the 33.
Rest in peace.
He bought that 33 when he was like really young, and I was like, oh, like cars would be cool to get into. And then there was another guy. His name was Robbie Menzies. He had an S13. He's up in Queensland. Darius probably knows him. He's got a red S13. It's really, really cool. It's on small wheels though, unfortunately. But that's alright. We'll pass it off. But anyway, I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to get like transition from the skate park into cars and stuff like that. So that's how that journey started. And I bought myself a Honda Civic before I had my license. And that was really shit. It was $700, and the rear quarter panel was just bog, and I thought it was the coolest car ever. Then I realized that it was really shit because everyone told me it was
what series?
It was an Civic. EG, the superior Civic shape.
Nice.
And then I got offered more money than I paid for it at the time, so I accepted it, and then I bought my first E30. So that's where the Euro thing started. And I got my friends to put their P plates on and drive me around in it. Well, I don't even know what happened to that car. I sold that as well. I think someone wanted to turn it into. Someone wanted to turn that into a drift car.
Was it a coupe?
It was a coupe. Yeah, it was a 325i. It was pretty fun. And then I sold that. I had my learner's permit by this point, guys. Crazy. I was old when I got my license, by the way. No, I was really old when I got my piece. I was like 22.
Damn.
And I bought the IS200 on my L's, and I didn't have anyone to do my driving hours with, so I just put P plates on it and taught myself how to drive.
That is the first car I ever saw. The first time I ever saw anything about you, I didn't know who you were, but it was a picture of you at the gas station with the IS, and I thought,
gas station
with no shoes on. I know the exact photo.
and And
Dallas, go through my Facebook, you'll find it. I've got a Nautica shirt on, mop hair.
yeah, I've
Grant
got
had
it.
the longest, most perfectly straightened hair ever, bro. Go back through some of his photos, and this.
Yeah,
I remember
time capsule.
when we were at the old house. It was like, hey, let's go get dinner with some of the fucking car people. Okay, give me 15 minutes to straighten my hair, just so
Yeah,
there's
oh
2
God.
centimeters that sit out of it from the hat or beanie that I wear constantly.
Yeah, I look like Sideshow Bob if I don't straighten it. That shit's whack.
That's right, you look cute, babe.
Oh, thanks, darling.
But yeah, I saw that photo before I even had my before I even like bagged my 86 or anything. So like it's going way back, and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, that's like back then that was a pretty cool car, right? Even
That was
though
a pretty
it
cool car.
probably doesn't hold up to standards these days, but back then it was pretty cool.
But it had Cosmos wheels on it and a fake Greddy lip, but it was sick at the time. Then I don't know what I did. I think everyone I used to hang out with started getting into drifting, and that really never really interested me. I think it's cool, but I never wanted to do it.
Yep.
And then I think I started seeing. I went to Fitted Friday. I can't remember who I went with. Oh, I do know who I went with. Won't say the name. Anyway,
Was it Sean?
it was Sean. It was Sean Napier.
Easy.
He drove my IS 200 to Fitted Friday.
You guys used to hang out a lot at the skate park, I hear.
Yeah, we did. He was actually really good at scooters. So I don't hate him.
There you go, Shawnee.
I don't hate past Sean. He was alright. Anyway,
Yep.
I saw they did a reveal car back in those days, and it was actually worth revealing. And Henry, his name was. He got the E30 painted by Concept Garage, and it was bagged, and it was on BBS RS.
Sorry,
And,
did
what colour
did
was
you
it?
cut out for anyone else?
Did I what? No?
No, I didn't cut it.
Okay, I can still hear everyone.
Fuck,
But anyway,
my internet must be bad. All good, all good.
there's this guy named Henry, and he revealed his E30 painted by Concept
What
Garage,
colour?
and it was white. And it turns out to be the car I ended up buying, because I saw it that day and I went, that's what I want an E30 to be. And I was like, I'll do that one day. Or I can't remember what I said. I said I'd like to own that car one day. I said it to Sean. Anyway, after the IS200, I got my Ps and I was allowed to drive a turbo car. And I was like, well, the IS200 is slow, and everyone I hung around had a Silvia. So I sold that and I bought a S14 Zenki, Superior S14, and nearly crashed it. Actually, no, I did crash it on the drive home because it was my first turbo car. I had that for a long time. I never
It'd be
modified it at
silly if
all.
you didn't crash it.
It wouldn't be a Silvia if you didn't crash it. But I never modified that car at all. And then about 6 months after owning the S14, the E30 I saw at Fitted Friday was posted for sale on a website called Gumtree.
What was that worth when you
I
got it?
paid 16,000 for it with all the bodywork done and still on air, and it just came on stock wheels, and that was about it. And that was like my first experience with modifying any cars, because I didn't do much to anything. I never really did anything. Then I started doing some research, like Adam said the other day. It was forums and stuff. They're not really anyone I knew or anything existed that I knew. So I just did some research, and I knew I wanted camber, and I knew I wanted shiny wheels. Because the car was mostly done already. I reached out to WCI Wheels at the time and said, hey, I bought this car. I don't know anything about things. I'd like your wheels on it. And they replied and they offered me a sponsorship on the car because it was already 90% done. So it just needed wheels to be finished. Got the wheels off of them and just drove it like that for 6 months. And then I think it was Cody's car that I saw back in the day. And it had a lot of camber, and I'd started doing research on camber and going lower and stretch tires and stuff like that. So started looking into that, and then I actually met Cody, 2017, Cody?
Cody,
Yeah, man.
He's not
Oh,
even in the
fucking
podcast.
muted. No, Cody.
Cody!
Lol.
No.
He's gone, bro. Anyway, I met that weird looking cunt then. He'll come back after insult. And then I just started hanging out with Cody and all of his friends, and I bi-curiously met everyone through that friend group at that time. World Time Attack 2017, and it's just been history since, and it's just been low cars, stretch tires since then, I guess. Yeah, I
How
went
did
through
you and Josh meet?
honestly, I think we met through Jack, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so I knew of Grant and because I think I followed Grant at that time, and I knew because of Rarest Rose, and that was a thing back then. Um, and then there was a Bathurst Cars and Coffee that I was at
Oh, that's
with,
right.
yeah, with Chloe, and I remember you came in the E30, and I was like, oh, that's random as fuck. Like, why the fuck is this guy out in Bathurst? Little did I know that you grew up out there. And then I think we saw you at the top of the Chloe, myself, and Tim. He had a black WRX. We were all driving around, and we saw you at the Mount, and I think we had a brief chat then. And then I can't remember if we had any contact since then. I know you're a fiend for messaging people that are awake at stupid times back then anyway. And because I used to start work at 3 o'clock in the morning, I remember you and I had conversations really early when I was at work. And then I think we got closer once you started hanging out with Jack, because the first time we actually met was at a tuned meet, and it was under the this is gonna sound heaps of AIDS. It was under the bleachers, bro. We kissed under the bleachers. It was
Yeah, because my car was front row, bro.
yeah, back when tune meets were, well, I guess they weren't
Valid.
cool, but they were something to do, and they weren't complete cancer. And then yeah,
Like
and then I
like
can't remember from there really. I think we just would hang out every now and again, and then I don't know. You, me, and Jack just became really good friends, and then
Yeah,
the earliest thing that I remember doing together was you guys coming out to Bathurst.
yeah, because I remember you posted the photos Elias took on the VSXXs, and
Oh yeah, when I got them, yeah.
because I knew we'd talked on and off then, and like we just knew each other through people like mutual friends sort of thing. And Elias posted those photos on the VSXXs, and I messaged you saying how the car looked really good, well done, something like that. And you said like sent thank you or something, and then like a week later you're like, oh, do you want to take photos? And I was like, where? And you're like, Bathurst, ha 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 ha. And I messaged Jack, and we literally came, and you did not expect us to. And
Yeah.
we drove 3 hours in the E30 just to take photos and eat KFC and drive home.
Yeah, good times.
That was good times.
And
Wouldn't do
now
that shit
everyone's
anymore.
petrified of going to Bathurst, and we all want to go because it's peaceful as fuck. But all the highways out there suck giant dick and balls.
That's why we take the new car. It's stock hot.
True.
Yeah, Grant. It was 2016 when
Okay, 2016, yeah.
it wasn't it the week that Fitted got cancelled and we came up.
Yeah. So it was that week, but I was thinking of what's Hack 2017 because you had the rotiform thing.
Yeah, that's right. We did.
But
Yeah,
I saw your
no,
car on the concaves. Yes, I
on
do
the
agree.
concaves. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a picture of you because I drove up on Stockies. I have a picture
Yeah.
of you with your head inside
under the
my
fender.
yeah, because of the wheel gap.
Yeah, because we were just internet friends, and like that was the first thing I ever did to your car was put my head under the guard.
Yeah. At Hungry Jack's. But
Yeah.
I'm because like with everyone, we go through and find the first message. I've been scrolling up trying to find the first message between you, and I'm like not even halfway there. I don't know how I'm gonna.
No, that would take fucking months. You'd be
Yeah,
on episode 276.
I'm
There's
interested
no
to
way
see
I'm
what
doing
it is, but yeah, you had the WCIs on that weekend.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was the first week I put them on. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, it'll be fitted. It'll be cool to reveal things because revealing things was relevant then.
Yep.
If you're not doing like the most crazy fucking oh my god build who's done this fucking crazy shit. If your car doesn't come out from concept garage, don't fucking reveal it. No one cares about your wheels and your pink down.
Yeah, but I looked up to cars like like your Dory's 34 and 14
Yeah.
and shit, and like they were revealed, and like that was the thing to do. So like when I was relevant, when I was back in the day, like they were the cars we looked up to, like Kyle Pham's RX-7 and shit like
Yeah,
that. Like
I
they were.
remember.
Yeah.
And Nim's RX-7, I don't know if anyone remembers that. That's a throwback. It was a white static RX-7 on
Oh
SSR.
yes, I know.
Yep.
that
And it
one.
was like '07 MNH. That thing
Yeah.
was fucking perfect. And then you had like Thomas's bagged red Evo and shit like that. Like those cars were just like Julian's FG Ute throwback. That car, yeah, like people just did shit differently.
No one's done a Ute better since.
No, on God, no one's done a better Ute.
no one's
Julian's
done anything
Ute takes the win for Stance Utes, Darius.
Can you? Yeah.
I was gonna
Can
say
you send
that.
me
Yeah.
the? Can you send me that?
There's no ad. He gone MIA. You have to go on. You literally have to go on Rare Rose Facebook.
I've got old pictures of it on my phone.
Yes, please. So we can show the kids how it's done. I drove past one the other day and I was like, that's pretty clean, but there's just not. I reckon they're cool cars. They have so much potential. No one's.
They
doing it.
do. And the best thing was that Julian's wasn't an XR6 like everyone thinks it has to be. Julian's was an XR8 and it sounded insane.
That would have been fun.
But yeah, that's how Josh and I met. I met Cody through car events and Instagram as well. And Darius, I actually met you probably through Xbox.
Yeah, literally. We actually, it was what was it?
So it's just mutuals that joined the Xbox party. Really, like that's how we became close. I guess you would
Yeah.
say. Like I always knew you through the internet. And you fucking. Oh, I didn't want to bring it up, but that half rap was something else.
We haven't talked
You're
about
doing the
that much on
rounds
the
because you're getting
podcast, so
roasted.
that's
I've never heard the half rap mentioned in any.
No.
Really?
So I thought I should bring it up.
Covered enough.
Oh man, no way! I'm gonna have to change that. Fuck yeah, no.
I think fucking yeah. I think it was the first time we actually met face to face was this year.
Yeah,
Wow.
100%.
What
You
the
know what
fuck?
you know what the funniest thing is? I've actually known Caleb longer than any of you.
That's
I
crazy.
used to ride scooters with Caleb like 10 years ago. So that's a really small world, and he came into the car scene too, and it's just gone full circle. It's super weird.
It's so weird.
If you're into any sort of like
Anything with
BMX,
wheels.
skating, scooting, whatever the fuck, you end up getting a car. Like I did BMX for a fair bit of my childhood, and now here we are with cars. And Cody, I think you were a scooter when you were younger, so that's why you're here.
He built like a scooter fold up one. But no, I found out. I kind of realized that people who used to ride like BMX and stuff mainly got into like it's very stereotypical, but people who were riding BMXs back in my day are all drifters now, and people who are on the scooters are all into stamps. It's really really weird.
Damn. Okay, Darius, let's rattle off the questions that the kids wanted to ask.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
I don't think we're through the experience yet. So E30 blew up.
Yeah. The E30 blew up. I sold that to a guy. His name was Ali. I'm not making that up. His name was Ali. He bought the E30 because his dad used to have one
Nice.
in another country.
Lebanon?
Yep. That went, and then I was actually with Josh and Jack, and I went to go buy a black JZX 100, and I was sitting in the car park contemplating life, and the guy messaged me and goes, "Hey, it just sold," and I was like, "Oh," because we were literally considering going to pick it up, and that sold, and I was depressed for like 3 days, and then I was like, "Oh, I'll go on Facebook and I'll look for another car." So I forgot that I had my location set to Melbourne because it had just been after status. And I found this really clean chaser that I ended up buying, but I had no idea it was in Melbourne. So I gave the guy a deposit. Then I was like, oh, I'll look up where it is. And it said it's 9 hours away.
I'll look up where it is.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I fucked myself. I told him I'd get it this week. So I called Jack. I nearly said Jackie Boy. I called Jack. And I said, hey, man, do you want to come pick up a car with me? And he goes, yeah, when are you going? And I was like, oh, probably tomorrow. And he goes, oh, okay, cool, let me know. And I was like, yeah, I'll pick you up. I didn't tell him the full extent of the story, and I turned up to get him with an airplane ticket. And he goes, what's this for? I said, we have to go get the chaser. And he's like, what the fuck? And he was kind of obligated to come.
You said yes, motherfucker. We have to go.
So we went to the airport, and he's like, I have to be back home in the morning. I have work the next day. So we went out. I met up with a few friends from Melbourne, Sarah, Emily Jeffs, a few other people down there. Some people I don't talk to anymore as well. We picked up the chaser, had dinner. Jack and I left Melbourne at 11 p.m. and I had him home by early a.m.s. And he had to sleep and went to work, and I had a chaser. And I drove that for like 3 weeks, I think it was, and I got pulled over in it because I was still on my P's. I got pulled over in it, and the cop gave me a verbal warning, and I got really scared, and he's like, if I catch you in this car again, I'm taking all your demerit points and your license. So I posted the chaser for $8,000 more than I bought it for 3 weeks ago, and it sold in like 5 hours or something. So then I had the chaser, and I already had the Blitz 03s. I had borrowed them off a friend, and I said to him, when I sold the chaser, I said, oh, any chance you would sell the Blitz 03s? And he threw, at the time, was a huge number at me. He's like, oh, I bought $4,000 for them. And I was like, oh, okay, like done. And he goes, really? And I was like, yeah. He goes, $4,000. I was like, yeah, done. Because like, to put it in perspective, like Meisters and stuff like that were about 2.5 to $3,000 for like
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
So $4,000 for Blitz 03s back then seemed stupid.
Mm.
Because that was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago.
No,
he
really?
yeah, it was about 4 years ago.
How fucking long have we known each other? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, maybe it was 3 or
I
4
don't know,
years.
maybe it's 3?
3, yeah, it was probably 3. Sorry, because I did test fit them on the S15 as well.
Nope.
This
It
is-
was 4.
It was 4.
It was 4. 2018. You had
Fuck me dead.
you had an E36.
All right, well, 4 years ago, so I bought the Blitz 03s, and I didn't have a car to put them on, and I sent them off to get triple polished. I just knew that was what I wanted to do to them. Still with no car, and I was like, well, with what I have left from selling the Chaser, because I didn't have anything really to spend money on. So I was like, well, what car can I make these fit on that would be different? And it was a few years back. There was a red E36 coupe in Cambergang, and he put Blitz 03s on that. And it was on 17s. Like, I can't remember the but it was a really cool car. And I went, well, what if I did 18s and put them on a vert? Because it looked really cool on the E36 chassis, in my opinion. But I wanted to do something a little different. So I ended up finding a vert, which actually cost me the same amount as the Blitz 03s, with a hardtop. So the hardtop is worth about $3,000 now, and I bought the whole car for 5. And then I took it home, ordered bags for it. I didn't even drive the car. I drove it home, put it on jack stands, and that car just got built on jack stands and never got driven. So I never had a relationship with the car. It's just a rushed, hey, I want to get this car done. I got the blitzers back from polishing and put them on the car and realized they wouldn't fit. So instead of re-drilling the wheels, I actually ordered a wide body for the E36. I got that fitted and painted, and that was the end of that. Like, it was just what car will these wheels look cool on? I didn't really want an E36. It was just what could I afford to modify and put the blitz on. So that's how the E36 came about.
I don't know, man. Even though it was a coincidence, it was fucking perfect. Oh, that car was so good.
It kind of just all fell into place. I think
Boring.
Josh lived with me.
Shut
but
up, Josh.
Shut up, Cody.
Yeah, I'll come down there and fucking yeah.
I think it being boring comes back to the I didn't have a relationship with it. It was just drive home, jack stands, build, finished. Like, there was no, oh, I could change this or this would look good. It was just I had a vision and I just did it, and it was done in like 4 or 5 months from buying the car to air quotes finished.
Half the time wasn't even fucking at home. Like, and that was why I remember we had conversations about, like, why don't I care about this car? And I was like, well, the reason I think I care about the Supra is that A, it's my first car, and B, I've had it for so long. All these things that I've done have just come over time, and I can't afford to, like, do it all in one fucking go.
Yeah.
So that's why I have this attachment to it, because I've literally had to go paycheck to paycheck, save up a little bit of this, save up a little bit of this, and then get that part. You know what I mean?
And that was my first actual experience of having the money there, because the Chaser had made me a fair bit of money. So I had the money sitting there, and I was like, oh, I'll buy this, I'll buy that. Like,
It's like when you get it's like when you get like the infinite money cheats on GTA. It's fun for like a day, and it's like, oh,
And
I
then
can
you've bought
done
it.
everything. Yeah.
Or to throw that much money at the car and not even have driven it, and then go, oh, I don't like driving this car. So that was a bit of a reality check. Because I drove it home from buying it, and then I bagged it myself in the garage. And then I think Josh, Jack, and I took it for a drive. That was the only drive, just to make sure the air was sweet.
Wow.
Yeah. Up to the city, we were all wearing pink hoodies.
Yeah, and I didn't have
In the
the hard top at that point, so it was hoping it didn't rain, because the soft top didn't work.
That was fun. I remember picking up pizza from Domino's in it, and it was bucketing down, and it was just raining on top of us.
Yeah,
the
like,
roof was up, and it just kept going through.
so
It was great.
But that car was a combination of all the cool parts, it just wasn't it. I don't know. Like I still stand by it. Aesthetically, it was sick. It just wasn't a car I was incredibly proud of.
Yep.
Then what happened there?
in 15 time, was it not?
36 went.
No. So I drove. At that point, I still had the E36, and I had driven someone's 86. So
Eric, not Eric's one.
no, not Eric's, because this is how I
Eric
got
got it
the
after.
S15. Because I had driven anyway. I had driven someone's 86, and I was like, I'm gonna sell the S15 and just buy an 86 and just call it a day. And
You mean the E36?
yeah, sorry, I sold the E36 to buy an 86 is what happened.
Yep.
And then the day I sold it, I was with Jack and Eric at Eric's house, and Eric let me drive the S15 around the block. He goes, "Oh, can you drive it around?" Oh, because he bought my Blitz 03. Sorry, this is a really roundabout story. When I sold the car, I sold it without the Blitz, and Eric had bought the Blitz 03s, and he put them on the car, and he asked me to drive it around the block so he could see it rolling. I drove it, and then I hopped on Marketplace 10 minutes after driving Eric's car and looked for an S15. And the red one popped up, and Jack Sang and I went and picked it up that night. No questions asked. Like, I knew the car. I knew it was rough. It was once VIP 15. It was really clean. It was well done. I just wanted to bring it back to life and flip it. I never planned on keeping it. And then I think the day after I fixed it, Josh and I drove it to Bathurst, and I just had fallen in love with driving it. And it just stayed for 2.5 years. So yeah, that's how I got the S15. I was meant to buy an 86, and I ended up with the S15.
Yeah, true.
And then why did you sell the E30?
Why did I sell the E30? Oh, it blew up, bro. Rewind to the start of the podcast, man.
Bro. Why did you sell the S15 for the kids wondering, bro? Also, I don't even think I asked. I think you just got bored, right?
I've been, Josh has heard it on repeat. I've been on and off selling that car for ages, just because I saw the values going up, and I like S15s, but it was never a air quote dream car for me. Like, it wasn't something that got my dick hard like it does for some people at All Americans. They kind of suck, but this one just turned up at the right time, and then I fell in love with it because of how rough it was. Like, the opposite of the E36. Like, I bought a rough car, and I had to fix the subframe and this and that, and things were breaking and being repaired, and and I got aesthetically, it was finished at around status when it was on the 326 wheels and it was big camber and stuff, but it didn't drive like an S15 should at that point. And then I've started seeing other cars, like I heard on a previous episode you guys were talking about like the OEM plus track stance thing, and that aesthetic has worn off for me a lot recently. I just got bored. I liked the S15 how it was, and I never wanted to change how it looked. So instead of changing how it looked, like Josh said, I was bored, and I just went, instead of changing the 15, why don't I change the whole thing and do a car that is track stance?
Yeah.
But instead of me doing that, a good friend Hudson, shout out Hudson, had one like the E46 M3, exactly how I would want one to look. And I just went, well, I'll throw him an offer. If he accepts it, he accepts it. And I bought the E46 M3.
Yeah, true.
But
do you reckon you'll keep it the same, like that kind of look? Like, I know you have to send his wheels back and stuff.
Yeah, his wheels and plates will go back. That was part of the deal. I got a pretty good price on it considering what he did want for it. But being a friend of mine, he said to me, hey, until you decide what you want to do, or until you can afford, we'll throw that in there. I don't mind until I can afford new wheels, because the M3 was a bit more than I wanted to spend on a car at the moment. Just keep the TEs and the plates and figure that out. So I'll put it in my name soon. Like, it's in my name on a receipt, but it's just not registered in New South Wales, so there's no point doing that until I've figured out what I'm going to do with it. As long as Hudson's happy for me to keep the plates for a bit.
I know you said that that you wanted like a track stance, kind of to go with your next car, and then Hudson's popped up. But you were kind of set on an E46 M3 even before considering Hudson's, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I actually, about a year ago, I wanted an E92 M3. And then I honestly didn't really fancy E46 M3s back then, like when I still had the big camber car and stuff like that. And then recently, like I think the Americans are doing the best. The monoblock, the square fitting tires, the really tight tire fitment, the half cage fish bowls, all that type of stuff. I don't know. I saw that vibe has started to pick up on me. It's like you can still drive the car, but it still looks like it's aggressive, and it has air quote a stance.
Say
So
say the
while my
ad you're
take was
you're
forward
thinking
with
of right there.
the at
Yeah, Thompson.
which one do you mean?
Thompson.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew
Thompson. Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
I was gonna lap around to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anything that guy touches, that aesthetic is what I currently like.
Mhm.
I know it's not everyone's thing. Some people still like the big camber. Some like straight wheels completely. But Thompson has like this. The line is blurred where it's still
What's that?
stanced, but Thompson.
None of your business, Darius, bro. You just copy your shit one for one, yeah?
Yeah,
It's
for
That's
the
what-
for the fucking listeners, mate. What is it?
Thompson.
I'll send it to you.
He owns System Motorsports.
Ah, yes.
So he had the ZN686, like the old shape. Now he's got the new one. He's got E92 M3, the GT3, the two E46s. He's like anything he touches just looks perfect in my opinion. And I wanted an E92 M3 until I had seen Thompson's black E46, and then I started looking for an E46 when I had a serious offer on the S15. I know I'm going around in circles. I'm just trying to think of the timeline. I looked at a few E46 M3s. The idea was to get an auto one, and just manual swap it and try and do it the air quote cheap way. But Cody having an E46, I spoke to him a few nights and added up the values of doing things like reinforcing subframes and rod bearings and stuff. And sometimes doing the cheap way isn't actually the cheap way. So I had put a deposit on an automatic one with none of the maintenance done, and the guy that was buying my S15 took his time, and obviously I couldn't just buy the E46 M3. I needed the S15 to sell, and I took too long. So I just told the guy like I was taking too long. I was happy to look for another one. He was kind enough to actually transfer my deposit back because of him understanding what I was telling him. I told him the same thing. I said I was taking too long. I'd rather look for a manual one, and he was like, "Hey man, I completely get it. I'll transfer your deposit back. No time wasted, no love lost, whatever else he said." And Cody sent me another one, a silver one in Western Australia, and that one also seemed promising. And I had been communicating with him for multiple days, and then he just went AWOL. He went missing. I haven't heard from him since. As soon as I asked for the car to be transported, he just flaked. And then at that point I was like, maybe I shouldn't get one. Blah 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 blah. And Hudson's had been on car sales for a little while. I had kept an eye on it. It was quite expensive, and I noticed that it had been price dropped. So I randomly messaged him and said, "Hey man, noticed you price dropped the car. I'd be interested in it. Would you take X amount?" And then we came to the deal of if he kept the TEs, I could have it for the price I had offered. So I called Cody again, and we D&M'd for a while, and it made sense just to pay the extra for the condition that Hudson's was in. It has literally everything done to it. Receipts on receipts on receipts. It's aesthetically what I wanted. It's black, which I know Josh has wanted me to have a black car for like 5 years. I've been talking about it.
Should have got around to paint the S15 black. I wish that happened. I really wish that happened.
The Photoshop looks sick. I've got one of them somewhere. But
That would have been sick on the
if I don't-
326s.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
black
100%.
106 would have been cool. But it's just it was a lot of money for. At that point was when I was like getting over the S15 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The biggest reason for the sale was I was driving the S15 to work. I had driven the S15 for 6 to 8 months straight with no police issues, and I got pulled over. I got pulled over by a really nice highway patrol. He complimented the car, told me it was well done and looked after, and let me go. And then like 2 weeks later, I got pulled over again, and this cop had. It was night and day difference. Like I usually pass the attitude test and this and that, but I think this guy just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and
Because you weren't nice to him, so they weren't nice to you, bro.
I was really nice to him. I always pass the attitude test, but
Nah, too nice, you fucked it.
this guy goes, quote unquote, he goes, well, why are you driving this? I said, I'm just going to work. I don't have another car at the moment, so I just had to take this one. And he goes, where do you work? And I told him, and he goes, mate, organise that truck. You're not going. And I said, you're fucking joking, right? And I've never sworn at a cop in my life, and my little heart sunk because I swore at this cop. And he goes, no, I'm not joking. He goes, this car's ridiculous. And he took 45 minutes, by the way, to defect me. So I had to call my boss and everyone like that, and that was not fun. I just had this weird gut feeling, and I've just never really liked the car after that rigmarole. It's just too, I don't know what the words I'm looking for are, but
The
I just
big
felt,
mixed stress.
yeah, it was huge. Like I've heard Josh's stories and stuff like that, but honestly, I couldn't handle it, so I just didn't drive the car ever again after that. I cleared the defects and stuff, but I never drove it again.
Some people like really give shit on you sold the car because you got defected, pussy.
Bro, it's dead ass traumatizing. Like I literally
it is.
shake when I see High Patrol. It's actually fucked.
Like that's a big reason I sold the 86, because I got absolutely fucked, and the car was at a point where I wouldn't be happy with it if I had to make it legal.
Like legal.
So
Yeah.
I just decided to do something else. That was pretty much it. But yeah, I did get
completely
absolutely
feel you with
fucked. When I decided to sell it was the weekend that my plates got confiscated, and I also got red labeled on the way back home from Sydney. That was all in the one weekend.
Yeah, I think I said it to Jack. It was Jack or Maya that I said it to. I said I'd rather not have the S15 than have it not how I want it to look.
Exactly.
If I had to make the S15 legal, air quotes, and I would rather not own it than have it look how I wanted it to look. So that's
It's easy to get it. Yeah, exactly. It's easy to get a new car, and you can have it legal and be happy with it. But once to revert it, it's such a different thing.
Yeah, well,
I was trying to explain that to my mum. I was like, because obviously she's across everything every time I get fucking defected, and all my fines go up on the fridge when I lived at home. And she was like, why don't you just make it not illegal? And I was like, because I don't want to do that. And she's like, but you can't even drive it. And I said, I know it sounds fucking stupid, and when you say it out loud, it does sound stupid, but I don't want to put it back to stock or to something boring and legal that blends in, because that's not what I have this car for. I have this car because I want it to look a certain way. And I'm sorry, but the cops aren't gonna stop me from doing that. I didn't come this far with the car to just come this far to get shit on and go, nah, fuck you, we're taking your car off the road. I've been defected I don't even fucking know how many times now, and I'm still here, and I still push through because I don't want to change the car. I like it the way it is. I know that hand on heart, I'm not a bad person. I'm not fucking hooning like a dickhead. I'm not fucking, none of my mods are going to cause someone to fucking die.
Yeah.
So why do they have the right to fucking take my car off the road when I know that this shit is not that bad? Like, okay, sure, my tires are a little bit fucking small and they could come off, but they've never fucking come off. You know what I mean? Like, and I get when Grant, like, it legit is traumatizing. Like, I've been in the car with my girlfriend, we see a High Patrol, I'll pull over to the side and literally try and hide, and I'm fucking shitting myself, or whenever we see highways anywhere, and my stomach fucking drops and everything just goes tense because I'm like,
Worst
fuck.
part's when you're in the stock car too, like you're in your daily and you see him, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck, and you're like, oh, it doesn't matter, they don't give a shit about that thing. But you know what I mean? Like, it's so fucking, it's legitimately traumatizing. I have fucking PTSD from highways, so there's no shame in like tapping out and going, fuck this, I'm gonna get rid of that car. Because when you cop that big fucking kick in the guts, like my car was off the road for a year, my first red label, because I just could not get the courage and willpower to put it back on the road, because it's just gonna happen again. But yeah, I said, sorry, looping back to the start, like I had said to my mum, I would rather sell the car and have something else than downgrade from what my vision is just to appease some stupid fucking law that's so outdated and has nothing to do with anything.
Yep.
So I'm with you on that one.
It also
Grant.
plays a big part on, like, especially, like, I know, like, especially you boys as well as myself, like, it's hard to look at the car if you were to revert it to stock knowing what it used to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
I
Oh,
even-
that far.
Bro, my car at the moment, like, I've taken all the stuff off it, my wheels are gone, taken all the skirts and, like, my rear pods off, and it's just sitting in my garage, and I hate walking past it to, like, go to my car, to, like, go to work, and just, like, looking at it. It infuriates me that it's sitting there. It just looks like shit.
any stance car that has had the wheels taken off and stock wheels put on, I don't care how nice the bodywork is, I don't care how good the paint is. If you put stock wheels on an X stance car, it looks pathetic.
It looks terrible. I've tried to take a photo of it to put on my story, and it just looks fucking horrendous.
It's
Yeah.
fucking horrible. I'm sorry, Cody, but your 86 on the stockies with -10 camber was probably the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
I'll send you a picture to put up, Darius, because that's a
still-
vibe. That's
I
a
get
vibe.
sleep paralysis, but it's Cody's fitment. But yeah, long story short, Thompson's car, blah 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 blah. Scared of driving S15, got defected, and I always said, like Josh does, I speak to my mum about cars and stuff. She's like my little helper. I called her and I just went, I said, oh, I'm too scared to drive the S15 anymore. It just sits in the garage. Like, what's the point of having this car? And she goes, well, why don't you sell it? I said, I don't want to sell it. I said if it ever sold organically, like if I had an offer or someone reached out, I'd be more than happy to do that. But I didn't want to post it. Like every time I have thought about posting a car, it's always been blah 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 EOI. Like it's you don't really want to sell it, but if someone paid the price, then that's fine. And I spoke to Mum about it, and then like 2 weeks later, the new owner of the S15, he messaged me, and I thought it was one of my friends, and he's like, oh, how much would you take for the S15? And I went, oh, you won't like my price. It's very sentimental and it has a bunch of rare parts and blah blah blah, and they're going up in price. And he goes, oh, try me. And I told him a number, and he said, okay. And I went, oh, all right, this guy's full of it, but we'll see what happens. And then he goes, oh, what if I give you a deposit now? And he gave me a $500 deposit. Now I wasn't super hopeful, but a deposit's showing some interest, right? And it took, I don't know, Josh, to take 4, 6, 8 weeks maybe for him to actually come through, but he did. And now we're here.
Quicker than I got my fucking headlights.
Quicker than you got your headlight, that's for sure.
Fucking.
But yeah, so in the time I was looking for an E46 and thinking about selling the S15, it actually all happened organically, and I didn't even have to post the S15 for sale. So we got here somehow.
One of the most repetitive questions in these questions is how much did you actually sell it for? Do you want to share that or not?
It was over 50 grand.
Okay, it was over 50 grand. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
That's really good.
yeah, it was 100. No, so the way I priced it was, so I had planned, if I was going to sell it, I was going to do the whole part out the air quote stance car, and then sell it standard and sell all my parts separately.
Yeah.
So what I did was I looked at the cheapest S15 on car sales, added what I thought was the part out value of all my parts, and I added those two prices together.
Yep.
Which is pretty good. I reckon that's a pretty good thing to go off.
I think that's pretty fair in the ways of, hypothetically, if the kid who bought the car doesn't want it, I don't think anyone else would pay. I mean, some people offered me, but like they never seem fully serious. But if he ever wants to make his money back, there's that room for him to breathe and not come out underneath. But like I explained to him, like that was my price because of the sediment and rare parts. It wasn't this car's better than every other car. It was literally sentimental value. And I explained that to him, and we have quite a good communication. We still talk now. He hasn't even got the car yet. It's still on a truck, poor kid. But no, he seems really cool because he actually had a red S15, and he goes, I want mine to look like yours. Would you sell yours? And that's how it happened. And he ended up selling his car and taking mine.
Yeah, true.
Nice.
But yeah, that's how that happened. So it was just stars aligned. I know that sounds corny as shit, but it happens. I have a photo of the S15 when I bought it.
But what star sign are you?
I'm a Lego, bro.
Nice.
Yeah.
One of the other questions, which I think is, I guess it would apply to all of you, really. Probably not you, Cody, because you're in Melbourne, but
Yeah, no. All of you guys, come on, bro. Speak
all of you bozos. Sorry.
Much better.
Would you ever consider hosting your own meet in Sydney?
Personally, no. I'd rather just attend someone else's. There's a lot of pressure. You could just turn up to.
Yeah, I have thought about this plenty of times. Here's the issue with hosting a meet, right? You can't win because I would love to host a meet, right? I think it'd be cool. It'd be nice to just say, like, or not even just to say, but just nice to be like, oh, these people are here because we did something, right? It would be cool to do. Here's the downside, right? You post a public meet, say a post on my story, right? And people will turn up and they'll share it around like, oh, there's something on tonight. What happens? One dickhead comes and does a fucking skid, and then something bad happens, worst case, right? Like someone does a skid and hits someone else's car, and then they'll go, Josh organised that meet, fucking hoon cunt, right? Mm-hmm. And then you just get associated with these fucking dickheads. It's the same as the poor cunt that not that you other guys know, but T-Way, the poor guy that organised T-Way. It was a great meet, great cars, good environment, awesome people, and then it's just those fucking dickheads in the Golfs that fly out of the meet, and the shit boxes that need attention by doing skids that fuck it for everybody else, right? So that's one hand, and the other hand is you do an exclusive meet. You go, we'll invite just the people that we want to be there. We'll invite, all you guys, our friends, and a few other people, like plus ones and stuff. And then you go, you're a fucking elite. Everybody else goes, you're a fucking elitist. You don't invite people that you don't like there, and you only pick and choose who's there. You're this, you're that. How come I didn't fucking get invited? I'm not talking to this cunt anymore. He didn't fucking invite me. Because you know what? That exact thing happened at the secret meet that we did at Lowdown. I had people messaging me or talking shit behind my back that I saw the messages going, why the fuck didn't I get invited? Well, for starters, if you're going to fucking complain about a car meet, you're not going to get invited, and I don't want you there. And second of all, if you didn't get invited, your car probably sucks. That's why you didn't get invited, or you're a fucking shit person. So yeah, you can't really win. I would love to host a meet. It would have to be a private thing, because I do not want like random people turning up and doing a skid, because I will get so fucking angry if that happens.
Yeah.
Circling back to that skid thing, side note, sorry. It's not even just the skids, it's also the NPCs who stand on the side of the entry with their phones out, geeing everyone up. Like, go look at the fucking car, don't stand at the entry exit and just wait for people to not even do a skid, because 1 out of 50 cars is maybe going to chirp the tyres, and it's probably going to be a shitty Sportivo anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Legit.
make a TikTok of the fucking parked nice cars, not the ones leaving the meet. Like, you just cause a crowd that causes police attention, and that's
exactly what happened on the weekend, Grant. At the meet up here.
Exactly right. AMG fucking crashed.
Mm-hmm.
An MG.
AMG.
An AMG.
Oh, how do you crash a fucking MG? And why are you going to a car meet in an MG?
Yeah, there were a bunch of people on the side of the road, and this who was showing off? I think it was the BMW showing off, and then it crashed into the AMG.
Flex?
Yeah, that's right.
No. Yeah, and then the BMW did a runner.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
That's fucking pathetic. They're all fucking losers, bro. It's all these dickheads that go, nobody cares about my finance bone stock cars. I'm going to have to do a skid to get attention.
Yep.
Like, get a fucking life, cunt. Don't turn up to this shit. Go to the skid pan. Learn how to drift. Like, do something productive.
So in short, Darius, no, we wouldn't hold a meet.
Yep. Thank you.
We got there in Caleb fashion, just holding it down for him while he's not here.
Just get angry, bro. Just get heated because no matter what you do, bro, you can't please.
That's alright. I can calm you down, bro. Beans. I don't think Cody would hold a meet either, because it's Cody.
Nope.
It'd be a fucking car park full of chairs.
No, I'd post up meet details, and then it's just a movie theater, and it's like, all right, we're watching the Pickle Rick episode.
Episode 3, season 3.
How do you know that?
Because you've made it such a meme that I made it my mission to know which episode that is.
Made it my identity.
It is the finest piece of avant-garde cinema we've had in the last 2 decades, so I don't blame you.
Well, yeah, and you've already answered most of like the big ones, like when we were talking about you selling the S15 and how you're going. There was a few people asked what your favorite setup was for the S15. Like, did you prefer? I feel like the 326.
The setup from the Status After movie that Dated filmed is my favorite.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think I liked that. It was very
it
nice.
was definitely my favorite. If I had to change one part of the car from that setup, it would be the headlights. I actually there's a car in Queensland, a red S15 that actually has the headlights I ordered. Shout out Jack Panozza. But the wrong ones turned up, and I I had the weird cross-eyed one, so yeah, that setup was almost perfect. Besides, I didn't like the headlights.
Yeah.
I did enjoy driving the car on the LMGT4s a lot more as well. And also, I like the black wheels on that car. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that when I first saw them, I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh no, they're pretty cool. I wasn't really ever a fan of like all black wheels, but they are very nice.
I just I actually got rid of the TEs because I didn't like the 6-spoke wheels with 5 studs. Me and Cody had this conversation the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's very stupid, but it throws you off. I can't unsee it. So I got the equivalent, which is a 5-spoke TE. Sorry, purists, but that's what LMGT4s are. They're a 5-spoke TE, and they just worked on the car, and the offsets were much better. And then Josh took the awesome photos on the hoist for me. Copied Heartnet there. Thanks, man.
Hell yeah.
Would you be doing that?
Now, I've got a question, even though I mean,
Yeah, go.
Well, okay, I'll ask it a different way. So how do you feel like? Well, I know the answer to this question. Are you going to keep the M3 static? And how do you feel that you're probably going to be driving a static car when you've had so many bad cars recently?
Yeah, so the only car that wasn't bad that I've had was the Chaser, and that was okay, but I've only had the E46 for 5 days, and just the way it drives is much nicer because it's set up to drive.
Yeah.
When you say static, you automatically think of slam to the ground. I don't know, Double Aiden's car, for example. Like that's what when you say static, that's what image pops into your head. But static just means it can't go up or down. Like air cups aren't static. I don't care what anyone says. The car moves.
Static plus.
No.
It's not static plus either. It's
Static plus.
you have a compressor. You have management. Your car can go up and down.
It's back.
not static.
Static
It's not static. Yeah.
Just because Josh wants to get him.
But the
Yeah. Sick of fucking breaking my shit.
yeah, but it's better. It's better to suck your ego up and make the car raise and shit instead of spending thousands of dollars on front lips over the lifetime of the car.
Nah, I'm static plus. I'm just
But a car doesn't have to be touching the ground to be defined as static. Just to clarify for everyone.
No, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Static just means the ride height cannot be changed. Like that's while driving the car. But the E46 probably will stay static just because it drives so well how it is.
Yeah.
There's a few E46s I've seen. Some bad ones. Don't get me wrong, they look awesome on the ground. But I think this car can suit both aesthetics properly. Like if you look at how Hudson's done the one I own now, and Cody's, for example, 2 completely different styles of the same car, and they, in my opinion, both look amazing. So,
What wheels are you gonna get?
I actually have no answer for that question yet. So shout out Hudson. You're not getting your wheels back.
We can cut this out. Have you test fitted the Minervas yet?
I have not, no. You don't have to cut that out. I will test fit Josh or Mayer's Minervas at one point. I am not sure if 3-piece 18-inch wheels will clear the big brake kit.
They will with the faces on those ones at the moment.
It's not the face I'm worried about. So it's the actual caliper touching the barrel because it's so close to the TE barrel. It's not the offset or anything. It's the actual caliper size because it's ridiculous.
Get some 22s on that bitch, I reckon.
It'll probably still be close. These calipers are dumb.
But even
Also,
even if it does touch, all you have to do is get enough spaces to push the entire wheel away.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
How many spaces?
I love how you don't say a
86?
big enough space. Okay, I always say enough spaces because multiple is a personality trait of yours.
Yeah, so kids, don't do what Cody did and have the bottom of your tyre sticking outside the body of your car because that looks poo.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, if you know, you know.
Don't know what you're talking about there.
That's fucked.
But no, I think the E46 will stay static. I have no style direction as of yet. I just got the car. I'm going to enjoy it how it is for a little while and not do what I did with the E36.
Hudson has done very well with that car, though. It's very clean. He hasn't done too much to it, but it does look very nice. He is good at building cars.
No, he's done a lot to it, but it's subtle. You know what I mean?
So that's the
Yeah,
thing,
like
that's
he's
the
done a
thing
lot of
with-
like the little things.
That's the thing with the Euros, like even 2J Josh will say, like you put a lip kit, wheels, and suspension on, and they're changed. But there's so much you don't see that can happen to an
2J
E46
Josh?
or a car like that. Like the amount of mods and receipts and stuff done to what I keep calling Hudson's car, which is actually mine now, which is weird. You can't see half of it. It just looks like TEs and it's low.
Mm. Does it have a cage in it?
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't. I thought it had a cage. Interesting.
No, it's got the
Cage
bird
coming
cage in the
soon?
boot.
Question marks?
There's no
Oh, it's
no
got
plan.
a cage in the boot?
Yeah, it's got the subframe reinforcement already done, so it looks like a little bird cage in the boot.
Yeah. Thought that was one of like the back seats.
No, there's nothing in the back seats. Only some empty Red Bull cans already.
Typical.
But no,
Should
there's no direction for the car.
Beautiful.
No.
Should we pick a car to get added to the list? I don't think we did one last week.
Ooh.
I listen to these and still don't understand the list, so
Really?
Josh, can we get a rejog on the list?
maybe I don't listen enough. I get sick of Josh clearing his throat, so I just turn it off.
I've been trying to mute myself, but I can't be fucked anymore. So.
I wasn't going to say anything, you just did it, so it reminded me.
That's because I was about to talk. I had to clear that bad boy out.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter time it goes to speak. So anyway,
So, from top to bottom,
Literally.
we've got Double A Aiden, we've got Kane, JZX, Ben Ashcroft, Adlord, 32 on HGH, OK Bye, Jacko's 200, Peter Cruz, Joshua Bokta, Primal 180, Kooky Sean, 32 Sia,
I have-
Ryan 34, Justin R32, Harrison Ryan. Do you want me to keep going?
I have a car for the list.
Yes.
Yep.
what is your car?
Ray's E92.
Ooh, good
Nice,
choice. Nice.
It's a very slept-on car. Big
Good
Euro guy
choice.
now. Been in the Euro game for 5 days.
Euro.
Mm. Okay.
Ray.
I'm not sure if that's everyone's taste, but that's a very, very underrated car in my opinion.
What's his at?
A Ray Automobilia. Sorry if I butchered
Oh.
that.
Yes, beautiful car.
Very, very well done. That also comes into the Euro not needing too much to be done properly.
Yep.
Although there's heaps done to that car, it's just less is more. It's a little bit different to the style of the list, I understand, but
I'm just pulling up the list here, so I can.
Well, very well deserving though. He's got some. He has some like a cool fucking. Does he own all these wheels?
I
Yeah,
He
couldn't
does.
tell ya.
There it is. Yep. Jesus Christ. He's got some fucking. Oh, he's got those. What are those wheels, Cody? You know wheels. The ones in
Alpine.
that third photo, bottom left.
Alpinas?
No,
Are
the
they
HREs. Oh wait, no. What the? Those are M. What are those? The fourth photo. Sorry.
Yeah, Alpinas.
Yeah, no clue what those are, but they're very cool.
They're Alpinas. I just told you.
Can I get that one more time?
Alpinus.
Al's penis.
Al has a huge cock.
Very cool wheels though.
Okay. Where would I slap him in? You know what's really pissed me off that I've only just realized now? Every car on this list is fucking Jap.
That's
Yeah.
why. Yeah.
That's what the fuck are we doing? That's so AIDS.
Yeah. Well, we just started it, so like.
Yeah, shut up, Darius.
There's like 10 cars on there, and I just added the first Euro.
I'm sick of this list. I'm adding in a Euro
I
after
swear
this.
we added another Euro as well.
Yeah, keep looking, bro. I would go for me. I'm going probably above Slats,
Who's that below?
below Justin R32.
Harrison Ryan's in the list now, so let me just.
Oh yeah, where was Harrison Ryan? I forgot that.
Oh, did he get? When did he get added in?
Not
I can't remember who.
a couple of weeks back.
Fuck, I don't remember that.
We need to put that on the website as well soon.
No, you need to put it on the website.
I can't do that. Cody makes the website actually change it. Ooh. I'd put it above. I'd put it below 32 Sia.
Below 32.
Below 32 Sia?
Yeah, just above Orion.
Actually,
R34.
nah. I would put it. Sorry, I'm looking at this new updated list now. I would put it above 32 Sia.
Very similar kind of thing. Just like very clean, well done.
I know I don't have much relevancy, but I'd probably put it between Peter and Josh Proctor. I'd put it up a bit higher.
I like that.
That's a personal preference,
I like
obviously.
that.
I would go.
Josh Proctor's car is obviously incredible, but aesthetically, I think Ray's is slightly higher, and then Peters is like seeing Peters in person on the weekend. That thing's perfect. I haven't seen Ray's in person, but I'd probably put it somewhere a bit higher.
I would put it above Peter, below Jacko.
Yeah, it fits in there too.
Shit. Where's the middle of all of our votes?
Under
Primal.
Josh Proctor, I think.
Yeah, Primal, above Primal, yeah. Which is also, these are all great cars though.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put it in the middle.
Yeah, Jackie Boy way too high though.
Is he? Where is he?
He's not at the bottom.
No. No way.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Joking.
I know Jack will listen to this on the way to work and message me about it, so that's why I said it.
You go, in that Jack voice.
Come on.
Cody, what's your car? Do you have one? I'm sure you got
Well, I'm chucking in a Euro now, and I hate to say it's extremely similar to the one that we just added. But I'm going Thomas's M3. I'm just trying to find a photo because he's got.
Hey, what do you mean? We've got to be Aussie cars, right?
Yeah, Aussie.
It is. Thomas from Melbourne.
Oh, the A46 M3.
Yep. Okay, the only photo I have is this absolute AIDS photo because he hasn't uploaded any of the new setup. It's really bad. E46 M3, also on Futuras. Also white.
Ah, yes, I saw lots of pictures of this thing on the weekend. Really like the car. Huge thing that makes me dislike the car is that canards.
Yes! Knew it.
Why?
Yeah.
They look so bad. I also really don't like the Euro plates.
Yep.
But everything else looks really good. Looks like it sits well.
That's a car that honestly looks better in person. It looks crazy in the Instagram too, but in person it actually looks way better.
Yeah, 100%.
I just fucking hate the canards, bro.
Canards and keyhole really taken away from that one.
If I had to have a negative, it's probably his driving height. Sorry, Tom. Gotta sort that, but other than that, it's fucking hot.
Yeah, do we want to?
Yeah, it is very clean.
Do we want to put that?
Yep. That would go.
Going above Josh.
What's his at?
T. Sweartech.
I'd probably put him just above 32 Sia, honestly, Cody.
Let me have a look at this.
I don't think he's above Bokta.
I don't hate that placement either.
I can agree with that.
Kooky Sean's car is perfect. So is Primal's. So is Josh Proctor's, in my opinion. Not that I'm... But, just above 32 Sia.
I think that's pretty good. Josh?
Sure, that works.
Yeehaw!
I think the top 10 of this list is fucking perfect. This is my first time ever seeing it, so...
Do we have one more?
Fuck, I don't know. Did we put Lexus G on the list, didn't we?
Gerard.
Yeah.
No.
No, he's not on the list.
But he should be.
Put him on the list.
I thought he was.
I thought he was.
Which LXXS are we putting on there, though? The Western Australia, the South Australia, the Queensland, or the Victoria? Get your own damn plates, everyone. It's not that fucking hard.
Oh, Grant, calm down, Buster.
I hate, like,
You know,
why would you want someone else's plate, bro? Come on.
Real quick, I just want to mention, Grant, I love that you have you understand the importance of plates. Like, you've had so many good plates on all your cars.
Yeah. Also, if you can't understand a plate instantly, it's not worth ordering. If you have to explain your plate to someone, and they go, "What does that mean?"
Sorry, Casey, bro, but that is absolutely you. He's had the plates on the car for ages, and he had to explain 5 times to me in person what they fucking meant.
I honestly thought it was an Asian last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Hyung.
Yeah, like I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, but he's white. Doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
that's what I thought. Well, I saw it stanced out 32 with that plate, and I just assumed. Like, I know that's really bad of me, but that's what I did.
So, guys, basically, we've just debunked that Grant's a racist.
Yeah, alright, play the beginning of the podcast for us.
Yeah. When Darius said that fucked up shit, that was not okay.
Yeah, anyway. But no, I think plates play, and that's very full circle, but I think plates play a big part of the car as well.
Yeah.
They're the finishing touch. They're the cherry on top. They are
There's a few cars.
the name for the whip, you know?
There's a few cars, Jack and Anthony, that need plates, and that would be perfect.
Okay, Gerard, are we Lexus G? Yeah?
I don't remember.
putting-
Oh, Lexus G.
Lexus G.
Lexus
No one
G.
will agree with my placing.
You're gonna put it at the top, I reckon.
Aesthetically, it's my favorite car that's on the road right now. It does everything that I like in a car.
I know where I would put it, but I think we should...
Double A Aiden's car, obviously, it's not the way it was at the top. I would put it under there, but I know no one will agree with that.
I would put
Under
it...
him?
I would put it under Adlord.
Damn, we all over the place.
I'm just looking at Aiden, Kane, Ben, and Adam, and I'm just thinking how much is done to the entire car, not just aesthetically.
No, I 100% get that for sure.
All those cars, those 4 cars there,
Yeah,
engine bay's done, interior's done,
Yeah,
underneath the
yeah.
car is perfect. Like,
Yeah, I can agree with that. I'd put him under Adlord.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd put him under Jacko.
Hey? God damn.
Weren't we just talking about all the things that are done to the car?
that's
Yeah,
true.
he's done a lot to it though.
Casey's car makes infinity horsepower.
Exactly, and Jacko's car's
I mean,
got
as-
motor
as-
work and shit done too.
As I said, I'm talking strictly on aesthetics, and because it's so good, it justifies a higher spot for me, even though those things aren't done. But I understand that it would place lower below those cars.
If we're talking about just a park that a meet aesthetically, stance wise, doors closed, engine bay's closed, then yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
personally, knowing those other cars,
I think I think what do you say, above Jacko or below?
Below Jacko, in my opinion.
Nah.
If I had if the keys were presented to me and both of these cars were next to each other, I'd nearly even want to take Peter's 180 over the top of Gerard's car, but I love Gerard's car.
I'd put Peter's higher as well, honestly.
But yeah, I love how Gerard's car looks and
Yeah,
feels,
it's so hard.
and it all the lines just line up except for the fucking too much camber in my opinion now. But whatever, everything else looks really good, and not much in camber, but everything else looks good. I just don't think that it's in the same tier as the we tick all the boxes. Do you know what I mean? Kane's Chaser,
I get that.
it's got all the engine bay and it drives and sits just as retarded as Gerard's car, but it's got all the motor stuff done too. Same as Ben's car, it's got all the motor stuff done too, and it rides just as crazy. So, see,
Yeah, Ben's car's actually insane.
yeah. So sorry.
I think it was Josh that asked me to choose between Kane and Ben's car. I would slightly go with Kane's, but that's such a hard choice between those two. They're both perfect.
Yeah, literally.
I do appreciate the OEM styling on Kane's more. I do appreciate Ben's kit, but if I had to choose, it'd be the OEM styling.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the OEM styling with those chrome grills, aren't you?
Yeah, big enthusiast actually. Big purist.
Wood grain?
Actually gonna... Yeah. Wood grain. That's actually really rare, Cody.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Where are we putting it?
I still stand by what I said at under Jacko's car. We'll leave it there. Peter's car can say where it is.
All right. Darius got something to say. Metal plates.
Fuck.
Piping up.
Bro.
Half wrap popping up.
I think it's probably a little bit better than Jacko's. Obviously, I've seen both cars in person.
I'm with ya.
I think it's above Jacko's, to be honest. I can see where the rest of you are coming from in the sense, like, it shouldn't be up near, like, Adlord, but I think it should be above Jacko's. As much as I love Jacko's car, seeing both of those cars in person, I think that Lexus G is above Jacko.
It's interesting you say that, and I think you're wrong. And I think it's
interesting that you piped up. But
it's interesting that
like I reckon
is
honestly,
the
just
list in
if
my
you
phone,
just take
so
a
I
seat
can
for a
just put it
second,
wherever I
Taylor.
want.
I mean, Josh.
In the middle is above Jacko.
Jacko, yeah.
How is that in the middle?
Because
I said way high.
Yeah.
Grant's the guest. He's the ultimate decider. Don't make me wake up Josh as well.
Well, if I'm ultimate decider, I would bump Peter up.
Wait, what?
Oh, you come in and you think you can just throw around the whole list. Hey, let's put Gucci at the top now. How about that?
Things that will never happen. Anyway, love you, Gucci. But
relax.
I'd put Peter's car above Casey's, and then I would put Gerard's below Casey's.
That's great, but we didn't ask that. Where's Gerard's car going?
Below Jacko.
For fuck's sake.
Fuck.
Above or below Jacko?
I'm very biased. I'm below Jacko because I'm very biased to Jacko's car.
Alright.
I'm deleting this whole
That's
episode.
There you go.
This whole episode is a write-off, bro.
Alright, so below Jacko. Alright.
It's just me fucking mumbling for an hour. You can't even put subtitles on my words. There's no words.
Damn, the list is getting big. We're gonna have to get rid of some people that we don't like. All hail Jaden. See you later, buddy.
Come on, bro. That wasn't a good move.
We're gonna make a separate list for
Bro cancelled himself.
for Eric, Sean, and no shame. I don't give a shit. You guys know what you did, and you suck.
Oh, bro.
Just to throw this out there.
Are you cutting that out, Darius, or not?
Absolutely not.
I don't give a
Don't
fuck.
cut it out. Don't cut it out. What is it like? What are you gonna do? Anyway,
That
put
dude
it
was
on
so
thumbnail.
big. I don't give a fuck.
Sean's car on the Meister was fucking hot.
Looked great. We all said that. Like it looked hot. And then he went and got the JDM accessories half wrap on it. And
You
imagine.
want it to be like Darius.
No, he got it
Darius, the only
before.
person
He got it
that's
before
fine.
Darius.
No, he didn't.
Darius
No, he didn't.
looks at that and goes, "That
No, he
looks
didn't.
good. I'll get it on my car." He's
literally
fucking
got it after me.
blind. Yeah.
I got messages in my
Cody,
DMs
bro.
of him
Cody,
asking
You're
about it.
full of it.
Cody, didn't you start the different rear quarter panel color on 8.6s, bro?
Ah! It's a good one.
50 Shades of Coco 95.
Oh, bro. I don't know why painters
heard
couldn't get red right. Like, seriously. Holy shit.
That guy painted it with his eyes closed, bro.
Yeah, bro. And then when I went to get the car detailed, I learnt that the front quarters had no clear on them. Because, like, the fucking polishing pad just had red all over it.
Nice, single stage. Apologies to everyone for this episode. It's an hour of bullshit.
Oh,
Grant doesn't even own this car.
like,
Ew.
You go from Adam, well spoken, blah blah blah, gets to the point, has a list written, took it seriously, then us.
No, but you were good. Like, fuck.
Oh, thanks, man. You made me cry.
This episode flowed really well, in my opinion, like every episode does without
That
Caleb.
doesn't have Caleb in it.
Yeah, it flowed really well.
I guess we'll have to cut the end of it out.
The instigator.